Hey everyone, Morgan here. It has been a brutal summer for us. I'm showing some video here of the temps from May, June, and July. It's been a brutal summer, and we've been breaking record temperatures during this summer here in the South. So I'm in Central Texas, and I know that a lot of people have been experiencing really high temperatures a lot of places. Like it's supposed to be, we're supposed to be getting a couple 100-degree, days, and, maybe several throughout a month, but not, slammed almost every single day. And even when they say it's 99 degrees, it feels like 100, okay? The humidity and all that. So anyway, so they're predicting some really harsh winter here. So here's a picture of what the Farmer's Almanac has predicted for across the United States. And it definitely seems like it's most likely going to be a very rigid winter for a lot of us. So I wanted to talk about how we can be prepared for that winter. I know it still feels like summer in a lot of places. It's mid-August when I'm recording this, and it's just like, some places like I can't even think about winter because I'm so hot, right? But as preppers, we need to really be thinking forward, especially with season changes or the next years or something like that. So those who live in really harsh winter climates to begin with, like, far north and that kind of thing, they're already pretty covered. But this is for those of us who want to be better prepared for potential harsher winters than we have experienced in the past. There was the Texas freeze, which knocked out power for a while for people, and lots of people were unprepared. I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but just in general, we want to be prepared for the harsher winter conditions. Between you guys and me, I am so ready for the cooler temps. Okay, I'm ready to start getting outside more. We've basically been cooped up inside of our houses the whole time. Fall, winter, and spring are the times that we get out here in Texas. So we're really ready for those cooler temps. But in preparation for that, first of all, try looking for your winter clothes now. In addition, there are also a lot of discounts on the summer clothes, so if you can get that for next year, that's also, a good deal too. But try to look for those winter clothes now so that you're not caught off guard later. If you have kids. Now, if you're an adult and you have all your winter clothes, whatever, you're probably set. But if you need like new winter boots, or if you need anything that's, wintry, I would get it now. We ran into this problem when we lived in Alaska. Like, we got all of our winter stuff except boots, and so we went everywhere in like September, October. Nobody had boots. We had to buy our boots online. I just figured you live in Alaska, you're gonna have boots, in local stores, like, by August or September, because they want to be prepared for the winter. But that was not the case, and it was very frustrating. So, if you can get your stuff now, especially if you have to get it online, but stores are starting to have, get that winter stuff in. I've seen it already. So if you can start getting your winter stuff now so that you're not caught off guard and you are just ready to go. Blackout supplies. So you want to get things, the candles, the flashlights, the batteries, check all that stuff, make sure everything is good. Make sure there's a battery in a flashlight in every room, along with batteries for the flashlights in every room, okay? So that everyone has access to a flashlight. I'm actually working on that. I thought we had like a ton of flashlights, and then I realized we didn't. So I'm getting a bunch of flashlights here soon, and they're gonna be everywhere, okay? But flashlights and batteries, candles, lighters, matches, anything, lanterns, these kinds of things. Okay, so if you have a fireplace or a wood stove or anything like that, you'll want to, of course, start collecting firewood. A lot of people have already started collecting firewood, like up in the Great North, but if you are in a milder area, you still may want to collect that firewood. If you do not rely on firewood, you may want to start looking into buddy burners, or the propane that goes along with it, the adapters to fill up the little 1 pound propanes to the larger propanes, as well as just filling propanes. So fill the propanes, chop wood, whatever you need to do for your heat sources, okay? Those buddy burners are great for indoor use, and they can really heat up fast. There are also just propane heaters out, real big ones like this. We actually have one of those, and they are amazing. They heat up spaces so fast, and they are so efficient. Propane is just an efficient fuel, so But I also want you to think about alternative cooking. So if you do rely a lot on electricity, like your heating or cooking, if they rely on electricity, absolutely have those alternative cooking means. So have the Coleman propane or whatever. I recently did a video about all those propane options. And of course, if you want to just make a fire outside, you can do that. Or if you have a wood stove, you have the option to cook on that wood stove. A lot of wood stoves anyway. So we got the clothes, we got the heat, we got the alternative cooking, the alternative heats, all that. So really look into that stuff now, and especially if you have to save some money for that stuff, now is the time to start looking into that and seeing how much money you need to have for some of this stuff. There might be sales on some of these things, but usually those things don't go on sale until like towards the end of winter, or going into spring, that kind of thing, and then winter stuff will go on sale then. So you just want to try to get as prepared now as possible. Of course, have plenty of food and water indoors. If you can have a month or two of that supplies, like especially if you're going to be snowed in some places, you will want to have that food supply, so that if you can't leave, if you literally cannot leave your house, you have that supplies there at your home, and you don't have to leave your house. So it's the same concept as prepping for anything else. You want plenty of food and water to last you a good while. If you need, if you have a gas generator, go ahead and start storing some gas. Or if you have, the dual fuel, go ahead and start storing the gas and the propane for that generator. If you have solar generators, be sure to keep them fully charged, keep them plugged in at all times. It will not harm your solar generators. You can just keep them plugged in all the time, so that when you do need them, you can just like if the lights go out, okay, great, yay, now I can use my solar generators all charged up, ready to go, right? So have your solar generators just plugged in all the time. That's what I do. And the alternative cooking is super important, because I had a comment once where I was talking about ways to keep warm without electricity, and someone had mentioned, I said, drink some warm water, and they said, well, that's really, convenient if you have warm water, but if you can't, boil warm water, well, that's where the alternative cooking methods come in, so that you can have that warm water and still cook and do whatever you need to do, right? Boil water for a quick shower or a little bath or whatever you need to do. And lastly, speaking about the hygiene and stuff, so I do want you to think about alternative ways to take showers, and brush your teeth. Make sure that you have these alternative ways to do the dishes, whatever other hygiene items that you need to do. We have a little solar bag. It's this bag right here, and we use that for a long time. We just boiled water and then put that in that bag, and then we use that for a quick shower. So we also have the Hydro Blue, this right here, which has a little pump, and then you can just take it. It has a little shower attachment. You can take a quick shower like that. Those are all great options. So just have some alternatives like that, as well as potential toilet alternatives like the 5-gallon bucket or whatever you need to do. So having all these alternatives will have a lot of your bases covered, especially when we are thinking about freezing temps. It could freeze pipes, maybe you can't get water from the pipe, or maybe you can't flush your toilets, whatever the case may be. I know you can always put water in the back of a toilet tank, but you really want to try to conserve as much water as you possibly can and try not to do that. So you might have to go in in a bucket or something, and then you would, discard of the trash from that bucket instead of flushing a toilet, kind of thing. So think about these options. Various things can happen. Stay warm, have that extra food and water, lots of alternatives. Start thinking about this stuff now, very important. And one last thing, lots of blankets, and get that sleeping bag. If you've thought about ways to keep warm, when there's no electricity and maybe all you have is a buddy burner, get a 0 degree sleeping bag, or as close to a sleeping bag as close to a 0 degree sleeping bag as possible. You I've made a video about the importance of sleeping bags. They're not just for camping. Sleeping bags are an amazing resource for at home, for you, your kids, everybody, right? Keep yourself warm. Blankets are great, but the 0-degree sleeping bags, there's nothing like it, right? Consider, having everybody sleep in the same bed. But yeah, start preparing for this stuff now. Make a list. Get a list of stuff that you would like to start acquiring or learning or whatever else you need to do to be ready for winter. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. Talk to you later. Bye.